So I know on the forums and Vogons and all that stuff, I always see that question come up, can I run Windows 95 on a 486? Or in this situation, on a 486 DX33? Well, you can, but the question is, would you want to? Let me go ahead and show you the boot up process, and then we'll run a couple simple tasks. I also want to show you we got it detuned down to 640 at 256. So, and I don't have a screen capture, so bear with me here. I'm going through the phone. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Okay, grab your popcorn. Now, mind you, this is with a CF card, which isn't easy with Phoenix BIOS version 1. That's going to be another video. But at any rate, I did this back in the day, like in 95, with a bootleg copy of Windows 95. And I'll tell you, I did that on a regular standard hard disk drive, mechanical, which is still in there, just unplugged. I only fire it up once a year to exercise it. I don't want to burn it out. But at any rate, this probably took an hour to install. And I mean, back when I did it on the mechanical, back in the day, man, it was an all-day project. I remember it took hours. Actually, in all fairness, I don't think I did it with the CD-ROM back in the day. I think I did it all with 3.5-inch diskettes. Actually, I know I did, because I wasn't burning discs in 95. That was a luxury that only the rich kids had, My parents were decent, but they weren't filthy rich. I didn't get a new computer every time a new processor came out. But yeah, that's the beauty. Now that you got DOMs, which I'm not a fan of because you don't have a master slave. And well, you do, but try to find them. But now that you got the CFs, you can really play around, have a stack of different things. I like using them. Works good on my Pentium 200 too. But it's kind of nice because you could just kind of leave this and then play with it at a later date. Back in the day, hard drives were like gold, man. You had one. And every time you did something, you sacrificed a working system to fight it for a while and try something new. Yeah, it's still booting. Now, mind you, this is just pretty much a raw install. Other than putting a couple drivers on there. I mean, no settings have been tweaked. Nothing in config. Nothing, nothing in auto exact. Just basic raw install DOS, install Windows 95. Get a couple drivers on there. And that's it. But I don't think all the tweaks in the world are going to make this something that you would want to use on a day-to-day basis. That's where your Pentium comes in. Or if you want to use an overdrive, I got an overdrive, but I don't use it for the simple fact that I got old DOS games that I want to run at 33. And even older ones I run on an 8086. Okay, so we're finally up and running here. What are we, about 4 minutes into the boot up? My original 486 was a Tandy 4825SX. So I'm just remembering when I said it took all day, I did this on that with 25 megahertz. This one I had gotten, I think, around 98, 99 when prices dropped immensely on 486s, because I always kind of wanted that DX series. I never did get around to getting the math coprocessor for the SX series on that Tandy. I mean, you know, all that stuff was unobtainium back then. It was so expensive. Normal people just didn't have access to that, especially, you know, I was young. It's different when you're an adult and all that kind of stuff, but I was young, man. I was in my parents' house in a bedroom trying to make things work. Okay, I guess I'm babbling, and I guess there's no hourglass. So, let's go ahead. Open up control panel. Hopefully you can hear the clicks of my mouse to know how long everything's taking. Oh, picture overboard. But yeah, even after I got my Pentium, these were good machines, you know. This and my 4825SX, they became my downloading machines. Because at that point in time, you could get like the old 2400 baud modems on the cheap, you know. Speaking of modems, man, I remember spending $300 on a modem. They were big money. And that's back when I bought it at CompUSA. You could still go to CompUSA. You'd see the ad in Computer Shopper. I'm babbling, I'm sorry. Click in System. Yeah, it's slow just to do normal tasks. And that's not even with the resolution turned up. Not that I'm running a great video card anyways, but you get the drift. Now, if you do want Windows 95 to work on a 486, definitely try to get at least a Pentium 66 or higher. Something 60s, 90s, if you can overdrive the piss out of it, it'll be your friend. It'll work great. But 33 just really doesn't cut it. And it really didn't like opening up that network adapter tab, did it? Now, some tabs open a little better, like doesn't see my backpack CD-ROM, but it's working. So as you can see, I do have 100 megabytes of free space, so you can't just say that it's not the, not the paging file, what do you call it? The virtual, I'm not thinking straight right now. But yeah, you get the drift. So yeah, you can install it and you can run it. For some things, you're going to see what happens when we try to run Wolfenstein 3D here in a second. Virtual memory. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, now you can see that's letting Windows manage it. So I guess that's important to add in there. And I'm sure I left something else out, but that gives you a good idea. Now, I'll be honest with you. Woof won't run. It'll freeze up on me. So the video's about ready to conclude. Sometimes the available memory starts populating. Other times it freezes up too quick. Which I know, because I got a nice little HDD light. My hard disk light. Which has already stopped. And it'll be stuck on one moment for a long time. I think the first time I did this, I just for shits and giggles left it for over an hour and it didn't do anything. So now, I'm going to hit Control-Alt-Delete. And I guess I got to do it twice. System is busy. Now, granted, if I hit any key to return, it just is not happy. And it's just going to be stuck on that. There is no alt-tabbing or anything of that nature. It's a dead duck. Which is also why I showed you the shutdown in the beginning. Now it's not even wanting to give me my Control-Alt-Delete back. So, you gotta do the unthinkable. And we'll be greeted by ScanDisk. Now again, you may be able to tweak it and get things to kind of work, but this is your starting point. So good luck. I'll go ahead and let you see some of the ScanDisk. If for any reason anybody wants to watch that much longer, but I've already got 15 minutes of your time. But somebody out there might appreciate this. Now, something like ScanDisk running from DOS really fast with a CF solid state. media drive. But running it through Windows, well, I guess it's not really running through Windows, but it'd be what? DOS 7, 7.17, I believe. I'm rusty. All I can tell you is if I do this from DOS 6.2.2, it's blazing fast. But I'm sure the boot process already molested the memory in a way that it's probably dangling from a thread already. And there we go. Windows is happy. The process starts over again, but at least now I can shut it down nicely. Pop that CF out and go back to my Combo DOS 3.11 Windows for Workgroups CF that I tend to prefer on this. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.